Top 30 P&ID Symbology and Loop Diagram Interview Questions and Answers for Commissioning Engineers. What is a P&ID? A piping and instrumentation diagram, P&ID, is a detailed engineering drawing showing process equipment, piping, valves, instruments, and control loops used in a process plant. It serves as the primary reference during construction, commissioning, troubleshooting, and maintenance to understand how the process and instrumentation are interconnected. What is a loop diagram? A loop diagram shows the complete electrical wiring connection from the field instrument to the control system, including terminal blocks, junction boxes, marshalling cabinets, and DCS or distributed control system, and PLC or programmable logic controller, input and output signals. It is used during installation and loop checking to verify correct cable routing, wiring, and signal continuity. What does a solid line represent in a P&ID? A solid line represents the process piping carrying liquids, gases, or steam between equipment. Different line thicknesses or codes may indicate various pipe sizes or process services depending on the project standards. What does a dashed line represent? A dashed line usually represents an electrical signal, communication signal, or instrument connection rather than process piping. It helps identify signal paths such as 4 to 20 mA, digital communication, or pneumatic connections. What does the symbol FT stand for? FT stands for flow transmitter. It measures the flow rate of a liquid or gas and sends a proportional signal, typically 4 to 20 mA or digital communication, to the control system. What does PT indicate? PT represents a pressure transmitter. It continuously measures process pressure and converts it into an electrical signal for monitoring, control, and alarm functions. What is the meaning of TT? TT stands for temperature transmitter. It receives input from a temperature sensor such as an RTD or thermocouple and transmits the measured temperature to the DCS or PLC. What does LT represent? LT means level transmitter. It measures the level of liquids or solids inside tanks, vessels, or silos using technologies such as radar, ultrasonic, DP, or guided wave radar. What is the purpose of an instrument bubble? An instrument bubble identifies the instrument tag number and function according to ISA standards. It also indicates whether the instrument is field-mounted, panel-mounted, or computer-based. What is a control valve symbol used for? The control valve symbol represents the final control element that regulates process variables such as flow, pressure, level, or temperature. It operates automatically based on signals received from the controller. What is the difference between a manual valve and a control valve on a P&ID? A manual valve is operated manually by an operator for isolation or throttling, whereas a control valve is automatically actuated by pneumatic, electric, or hydraulic actuators. Control valves continuously regulate process conditions without manual intervention. What does LIC mean? LIC stands for Level Indicating Controller. It displays the process level and compares it with the set point to control the final element, usually a control valve or pump. What does FIC stand for? FIC means Flow Indicating Controller. It monitors the measured flow rate, compares it with the desired set point, and adjusts the control valve to maintain the required flow. What is the function of a junction box, JB, in a loop diagram? A junction box connects individual field instrument cables to multicore cables leading to the control room. It simplifies installation, maintenance, troubleshooting, and future cable modifications. What information is available in a loop diagram? A loop diagram contains instrument tag numbers, cable numbers, wire numbers, terminal numbers, junction box details, marshalling cabinet information, power supply, and DCS/PLC/IO addresses. It acts as the complete wiring reference for a single instrument loop. Why is cable numbering important in loop checking? Cable numbering ensures the correct cable is connected between the field instrument and the control system. It prevents wiring mistakes, saves troubleshooting time, and improves commissioning accuracy. What is a terminal block, TB? A terminal block is a connection point used for terminating and interconnecting instrument wires. It allows easy cable testing, isolation, replacement, and maintenance without disturbing the entire wiring system. What is the purpose of shield grounding in instrument cables? Shield grounding minimizes electrical noise, electromagnetic interference, EMI, and signal disturbances. Normally, the cable shield is grounded at one end only to prevent ground loops. What is an analog input, AI? An analog input receives continuous signals such as 4 to 20 mA, 1 to 5 volt, or Hz from transmitters. The control system converts these signals into engineering units for monitoring and control. What is a digital input, DI? A digital input receives discrete on-off or open-close status signals from switches, limit switches, or field contacts. These inputs are mainly used for alarms, interlocks, and equipment status monitoring. What is a digital output, DO? A digital output sends on-off commands from the PLC or DCS to field devices such as solenoid valves, relays, or motor starters. It is commonly used in shutdown systems and process automation. What is an analog output, AO? An analog output sends continuous signals, typically 4 to 20 mA, from the control system to final control elements like valve positioners or variable frequency drives. It allows precise control of process variables. Why is the loop diagram important during commissioning? The loop diagram is used to verify wiring, polarity, continuity, terminal connections, and signal routing before startup. It helps identify wiring errors quickly and ensures each instrument loop functions correctly. What should you check if a transmitter signal is not reaching the DCS? Check the transmitter power supply, fuse, polarity, cable continuity, terminal wiring, junction box connections, marshalling cabinet, and DCS/IO card. Also verify the transmitter output using a multimeter or Hz communicator. How do you identify whether an instrument is field-mounted or panel-mounted on a P&ID? IIQA instrument symbols indicate the installation location. A plain circle represents a field-mounted instrument, while a circle inside a square represents a panel or control room-mounted instrument. What does HS indicate on a P&ID? HS stands for hand switch. It allows an operator to manually start, stop, or select operating modes for equipment directly from the field or control panel. What is the function of a solenoid valve, SOV, in a loop diagram? A solenoid valve converts an electrical signal into pneumatic action to operate actuators or shutdown valves. It plays a vital role in emergency shutdown, ESD, and process automation systems. What is the difference between a P&ID and a process flow diagram, PFD? A PFD provides an overview of the process flow, major equipment, and operating conditions. A P&ID contains detailed information about piping, instruments, valves, control loops, safety devices, and interconnections used for engineering and commissioning. During loop checking, why is terminal numbering verified? Terminal numbering is verified to ensure every wire is connected to the correct termination point according to the loop diagram. Incorrect terminal connections can cause signal failures, false alarms, or equipment malfunction. Which documents are commonly used together with P&IDs and loop diagrams during commissioning? Common documents include the instrument index, instrument datasheets, hookup drawings, cable schedule, junction box schedule, I/O list, cause and effect matrix, logic diagrams, wiring diagrams, and cable routing drawings. Together, these documents help engineers complete installation, testing, loop checking, and commissioning accurately. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, share, comment. IIQA